have a better plan than that.
Okay, well, we're going live here on Facebook now, so.
Okay. Can we turn
Okay.
the music off?
Oh, yeah. See, I'm the professional as far as radio.
I mean, I can deal with distraction.
Oh, no. Rachael Kilgour, thank you for coming.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me.
And, yeah, you don't get down this way very often, do you?
No,
I was going to say
it.
it.
More middle of the country than I already am.
Really?
You know, I haven't been. No, that's not fair to say. I've done a lot of touring in the past on the East Coast, actually. So even though I'm from Minnesota,
Okay.
I've done more out there, and in the last couple of years, I've just frankly been at home. So getting back out on the road. Here I am.
Yeah.
I don't hang out in Iowa all the time.
So now, check. I may or may not have this correct. You were born in Canada?
Incorrect. I was
Okay.
born in the United States to a Canadian father and an American mother. So
that's where Canada comes in.
Yeah, my brother was born, and they lived up there before I was born, and then came down.
Gotcha.
So we all got dual citizenship.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
I'm born in Duluth.
I was born in Germany.
Oh.
My dad was in the Army. And I'll tell you what, if there's any question, make sure you have everything you need, because when it comes time to go on Social Security, which I just did in April, it's like, they said, you have to prove you're a citizen. I said,
Oh, no.
how do I do that? And they said, well, do you have your birth certificate? I said, no, I was born in a U.S. Army hospital, and, they didn't give me one. They gave me this, though. And he looks at it and he said, oh, yeah, they used to give those. We no longer accept those. I said, now, I just turned 65. What about, I'm sure there's other people. Yeah, oh, yeah, I've seen this before, he goes. I go, okay, well, that doesn't help me. He says, do you have your parents' birth certificates? I said, no, I don't. I can probably get copies because, Anyway, I went through a big, long thing.
Oh, no.
And I had planned, my birthday is April 1st. I had planned on going April 1st and I finally got, luckily I started doing this in January, but I finally got it all set up and ready on April 29th. And he says, oh, okay, you're there. Okay, you're all ready. He goes, you should get your check on time. I go, I'm in? He says, yes. Thank you.
Oh,
So, man, it was quite an ordeal.
Yes, those cross country, the paperwork is pretty extraordinary. Yeah.
Well, so a Duluth girl.
Mm-hmm.
Have you lived in Duluth your whole life, or?
I did live in Boston for a little while.
Oh, really?
And in Minneapolis for a short stint. But
So you like staying in the north?
Yeah, I actually do, until it becomes a burden to my health, I think.
Oh, yeah, there you
Yes,
go.
I recognize at a certain point it
I
can be
see.
dangerous living.
I see you are working on your house.
Yes, I am.
Is that a new acquisition, or?
Yeah, my partner and I acquired it right before the pandemic hit. So, I actually had been in Boston, and my dad died almost immediately after I moved out there, and I had this big, he was ill leading up to it with dementia, so it wasn't a surprise exactly, but that I had gone to Boston, like this new adventure, and pursuing the music career out there, and so after he passed, I had this huge instinct to come back home and be nearby family, because what if my mom dies? Everybody's going to die eventually. But
it's hard, even when you know it's coming, when you lose a parent, it's like you go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with. It can be heartbreaking.
Yeah, you kind of reassess. So yeah, I'm back in Duluth, and I miss touring. I hadn't been doing a lot of it during the pandemic, so I miss being out in the world. But It is good to be near my people. And yes, I have been working on an enormous house project.
Yeah.
A couple years now.
You took all the siding off of the house, and now you're putting it back on before the winter comes? So you're in a kind of a rush. Are you there yet, or?
No, we ran out of siding, so I
Oh, no.
We're picking some up from the mill on the way home, actually, from Minneapolis.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. We thought we had enough. We actually had one full side of the house. It's pretty normal in Duluth, actually. You know, we had a big heyday at the turn of the century. All the millionaires moved to Duluth, and there's a lot of money to be had in shipping and mining and logging, and all of these industries were kind of booming at that time. So we have a lot of large, used to be beautiful homes, and then all the money left, and they all got chopped up into apartment buildings, and they were all many of them, including ours, were very neglected for many years. So
Yeah.
it was just like a lot of water damage, a lot of rot, a lot of stuff we had to take care of. And we could have left all of the many layers of different kinds of siding on top of everything, but in opening everything out, we realized that there was a lot more important work that needed to be done on the bones of it.
Well, people in Clinton can relate to that, because this town used to be wood baron, lumber baron, people. And there's a lot of really beautiful old houses that have just fallen apart, and it's like, it's really a shame to see it when they tear them down. You go, oh, wow. It's like,
But also requires so much money to invest.
oh,
in keeping
exactly,
it.
yeah.
We've been trying to do it on a budget and doing everything ourselves. So it takes a lot of time. And
So how do
very
you
dirty
find
and tired all the time.
how do you find time to come out and play?
Well, this is the one-off. This is the only time I'm leaving my house for at least a month and a half. So.
Wow.
One
Well,
show
thank
all
you
the
for
time. Yeah.
thank you for stopping here on your way.
Yes.
You're going down to Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 7 o'clock tonight?
Yes, 7 o'clock tonight.
So you're kind of tying everything into a tight little bundle.
Yeah, limited time to work with, so thought we'd just.
Well, I really appreciate you stopping here. So, you are a 2015 grand prize winner of Leaf New Song Music Performance and Songwriting Competition.
Yeah, actually, both of them. I won the one at Leaf, which made me a finalist for the official new song thing, and then I went to the new song, and then I won the new song one. So there were two separate, connected, but two separate contests, I guess. Yeah, and the new song one draws from a larger pool, and it has the finals are at Lincoln Center, which is pretty exciting.
So was that for one song or for a?
No, it's kind of for your work as a whole.
Okay.
You're kind of encouraged to. I feel like I submitted songs and then I sang different songs, and it was about your performance and your songwriting and just the whole package, I guess.
I'll tell you what, because you were coming here, I dug a little deeper into your catalog, and wow, you are one heck of a good songwriter.
Thank you very much.
Very, very good, yeah. I can understand why you won. You also won the 2017 Kerrville New Folk Contest.
I did, yeah. So it was wonderful. That one's they picked 6, I think, every year. So that was kind of fun. We got to go on a little tour all together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the 6
that'd be
songwriters.
cool.
They put us on a mini Texas tour with the winners of New Folk.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great way to meet other songwriters, and I feel like I've got some long-time friendships from that.
Oh yeah, that sounds like it would be fun.
It was. It's actually much more fun. People ask a lot. I'm grateful to have had success in songwriting contests, but I also feel like they're super lame. Just the idea of having a contest for your art making seems like counterintuitive, and I don't love it. But I will say, with the Kerrville one, it felt a little better that it was like a group of us, and there was, Kerrville as a whole, the festival really celebrates songwriting and the love of it. So.
Yeah, well, you have been some pretty prestigious places. The Lincoln Center in New York, Kennedy Center in D.C. It's like, those are pretty good gigs.
They were pretty good gigs, that's true.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, was it the Leaf or the new song music that led to the Kennedy Center?
Yeah,
Is that the
actually
one?
all of those things were tied up with that. They had
Okay.
a lot of connections with those things. So the winner of the new song contest at that time, and I think still today, gets to have a full concert of their own at this, was it the David Rubenstein? I actually don't know how to say it, auditorium that's part of the Lincoln Center complex. So you get to have your own show there, and then later on, I also got to go to the Sundance Film Festival, and they had a set up there where we got to share songs,
I bet.
and later on led to the gig at the Kennedy Center as well. Yeah, they've been a great resource.
Did you meet anybody at Sundance?
I don't think I was out to meet anyone. I don't know that I had it in my head that I should meet. I saw some great films.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I think that there were people there that were famous. I'm sure. That's usually how it goes, but I wasn't really looking for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool, you know. All of those, it's like, man, it's all, like you said, it's all tied together, and that shows you people out there, artists, enter all those contests, no matter how lame.
Or just like trust in your art making and just be.
There you go.
But yeah, it's, we get a leg up one way or another. I think that was really helpful to me in the beginning of my career, having those connections and winning those contests. But yeah, I think it can be hard when that feels like one of the only paths for a songwriter to be noticed. And
Yeah,
and
well,
when
that's
you aren't
true.
when you aren't the one that's picked, it can feel kind of like, like you've gone unseen. And I just think it's good to be careful to protect the thing that you make and to trust it.
So can I say we won't see you on American Idol?
You 100% will never see me on American Idol or The Voice or any of those shows.
That's what I kind of figured.
Okay.
Well, can we hear a song from you, or
I
what do you
guess.
got for us?
Yeah. Sure. You think I have a plan of which one to start with? I'll play you a new one.
Oh, good.
When I say new, it's not brand new, but it's
New to us, right?
yes, it's not recorded. It's for an upcoming album that I wrote about my dad. My dad worked hard from the time he was young to win the respect of his father, love of his mom, and nobody had high hopes for the scrappy farm kid. Nobody loved a challenge like my old man did. So with his hands in the sweat, with a hammer and a cigarette, long hours in the hot sun, he built a foundation, late for dinner every night, sunburn and tired. In the end, he seemed to do alright, with 3 kids and a frugal wife. My dad worked hard, but yours work harder. That what his thriving investments prove. I'm not saying that he didn't earn the right to take it easy. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure my dad did too. He got the job done right. No, you couldn't come late. And you wouldn't overcharge you, not like the big names did. He built a house from the ground up, run the numbers in his head. He'd make enough to feed the family, make it home to tuck me into bed. And he never gave up can tell how time will treat you. She's a great deceiver. Now he's home every night. He's home every day. He needs help getting out of his chair. Can't remember all the times shoes. I've been looking for the safety net, the one that's supposed to catch him when we can't afford the care he needs, and he worked his whole goddamn life. My dad worked hard, and yours work harder. That would a comfortable retirement prove. I'm not saying that he didn't earn the right to take it easy. Just saying that I'm pretty sure my dad did it too.
Yes. Good stuff. Thank you. What's the name of that one? Is that My Dad?
Worked hard.
My Dad Worked Hard. Fantastic song. You asked me, do I have any favorites? And that's one.
Oh,
yes.
good.
I couldn't remember the name. You know,
It is.
when you get a certain age, you know, names.
Okay. I don't even know what their names are.
So that's on an upcoming album.
Yeah, I had a really wonderful experience. I brought the songs up to Canada. Like I said, my dad was Canadian, and I just had this idea. Like I haven't really toured much up there. Brought my music north of the border, and I thought that it would really mean a lot to my dad if I did that. And
Nice.
I don't know if you know about Canadian radio stations, but you know they have percentages of it. They have to play a certain percentage of Canadian artists. So if you're not Canadian, you have a small chance of being played on their like local radio or right now those.
So could you say,
So
hey, I am?
100%. Yeah, as long as the thing is that there are different factors. Say, is like is the songwriter Canadian? Is the performer? Are all the musicians? Is it recorded in Canada? You know, there's all these different factors that tell you the percentage of Canadian content the album
Right.
is, and so. Yeah, I reached out to a friend, Rose Cousins, who's a really fantastic musician, and also happens to be Canadian, and asked if she would consider producing it, and she said yes, and helped me gather a fully Canadian team, and we went to Toronto and recorded the album. So, yeah.
She just won an award.
No, she wins real awards. She wins the awards
A
all the
Juno,
time.
I think.
Yes, she has
won.
one. Yes, she has one Junos. I don't know if that her most recent record did that or if it was. Anyway, I think she's regularly nominated and wins awards.
Yeah,
for good reasons.
I've heard
She's
her
very
some of
talented.
her stuff. Yeah, she's really talented too.
Yeah.
I said two because I lump you in there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was. We just I had a great time recording the songs in it, and really happy with how things are turning out. But now it's the like long and confusing time of like gathering the right team to help release it and getting all the album artwork together and the music videos and all of those things. So a little delay. I was very, very fortunate to have the support of listeners who supported my Kickstarter campaign. So
Good,
they're anxiously
good.
awaiting the arrival of the album, and I'm like, just let us.
So it's all recorded?
Yes, it is recorded. And,
Okay, so
yeah,
now it's
playing,
all
like
the-
a lot of email tag with like publicists, and that's what I'm doing right now.
It's all putting the puzzle pieces together now. It's
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it, but I just feel like I think it's really beautiful, and I want to make sure obviously there's a lot of pressure when you make something new that I want to share it and I want to put it out in the world, but I'm so proud of it that I want to like hold on to it until it's just right and we have everything lined up and it can kind of make the most impact and reach the most people. So
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'll tell you that.
thanks.
Like I said, I've dug into some of your stuff, and you have a very good writing sensibility. I mean, really good. Another producer, Katie Curtis. I worked with her.
Yeah.
She's very good too.
It's true.
It's
I
like-
picked out some gems, I feel like.
Now, are those the only two producers you've worked with so far, or?
When the EP, Game Changer, was part of for the new song contest win. One of the things that you're awarded is recording time at Echo Mountain Studios in North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
And the man who actually runs the new song contest, Gar Ragland, was produced that EP for me.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I worked with him. And when I was younger, I also worked with Haley. She goes by Haley McCollum now, but Haley Bonner was her name at the time when she was.
I know Haley. She's from Minnesota.
She's also from Minnesota. Yeah.
She used to send me her stuff, but
I don't think she sends her own stuff anymore. As far as
well, part of it though is also my show is kind of roots based.
Yeah.
So some of her stuff fits in, but some of it doesn't. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. But very good. You hang around with some pretty talented people.
I try.
It rubs off, I guess, huh?
Yes, I will.
Very good stuff. Yeah, like I said, I've enjoyed listening to your music, and I'm impressed. Is what I have to say. And by the way, that song says things about your dad, and it sounds so much like my dad. And I think, oh, that sounds exactly like my dad.
Yeah.
He always said, if you're going to do it right. He says, there's no sense in doing it when you don't do it right. Yeah, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
And he's right. You know, the
Sure,
bottom
waste
line.
of time doing it the wrong way, isn't it?
That's right. It's the bottom line is do it the best you can, and you should be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that translates into songwriting too.
Yes, I suppose it does. And
Is it-
also all the housework I've done. He's very present in most of the projects I'm doing at home.
So he was a carpenter,
He
is
was a
that right? Contractor, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to have to work with him when I was in my teenage years. We didn't really have like, summer jobs other than working with Dad, so I'd be his like right-hand person and be all that a lot. Or just like, I don't know, he didn't really yell, but
I know how that goes. My dad was an electrician, and me and my brother were his free labor.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "Oh, I'm teaching you a trade." He goes, "Don't think it's free."
It's true. It's a good
Well,
knowledge
it
to
is,
have.
you know.
I do think I got paid something when I worked in this
Right.
in my teenage years, so I'll thank him for that. But it's true. I mean, it was a great education.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to be doing this at this point in my life, but I have a lot of skills that he taught me, and I can do a lot of things myself without having to pay for them. So
That's a good thing, yeah.
It saved me money in the long run.
Right. That's a good thing. Yeah, well, like I said, you know, my dad and your dad sound like they were cut from the same board, you know.
Yeah, it's funny how you can tell specific stories about your life, and then they're somehow extremely universal, especially about parents. I think I get that a lot.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, you know, you write some very personal songs, but those songs, everybody goes, oh, wow, yeah, I agree. I think that sounds like me, or, they're personally universal.
Yeah.
So I don't know how else to say it, but it's kind of amazing when you think about it. That people in general have so much in common, and that's what I get out of your songs. Even when you're talking about lost love or family, it all you absorb it and you go, oh yeah, that sounds like me,
Mm-hmm.
And that takes talent, being able to write like that. I like I said, I commend you for your writing ability.
I think mostly it just takes telling the truth, and I don't know. I think there's so many different ways to tell the truth. I have a lot of friends who love like writing fictional stories, but there's some truth of their life that's laced into it. But that's what people kind of grab onto. I think I don't write for the love of the craft of songwriting. I write because I'm like desperate to write about my own experience and process it, and then that generally the like truth of me talking about some intense emotion I have. It's kind of impossible not to. I think when someone's telling you something really true about themselves, it's kind of impossible not to relate to it, even if it's like a horrible thing, right? You're like, oh yeah. That's
You know, that right there. I mean, that's another thing that you say. You just write the truth, and truth will set you free. That's what they say. But you know, everybody has the truth in them. But a lot of people find it hard to admit the truth to themselves about their own life.
Yeah, and also there's so many different, I mean, I recognize also in any given situation that I'm writing about, like, I'm the one with a microphone.
There you go.
And that's not, it's not always fair. Truth is subjective, and there are many different layers to it. So all I can do is write about the truth of my own experience, and
very nice, yeah.
other people will have to just work through their own if it's different than how I remember it.
Can we hear some of your truth now?
Hearts and flowers, true flowers, Christmas trees to dress, a slow dancing in the kitchen, chicken soup with cheese. You were still my world when you looked ahead. You were still my world as I lay awake in bed. Still my world with your eyes set fast on the boys. Didn't mean promises of love. Waking up from the same moonlight. Why'd you let me? You were still my wife when you came home late. And you were still my wife as I lay in bed awake. You were still my wife. Lying through your teeth about a boy you said and made you think. I Looks like he meant something after all.
Oh man, great song, fantastic. Like I said, that your writing, man. Yeah, I really like that song. Good stuff. Thank you for playing that.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's an oldie now.
Yeah, you've been around for a while now, haven't you? How have the last 2 years been?
Weird.
Terrible or what? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hard time. I think it was really scary at first,
Yeah.
and then both scary and hopeful. There was like a moment where I thought, this is so bad that like we might have to really look some things in the face and fix them.
Oh, man,
like,
yeah.
right? Some large adjustments might be on their way, and then kind of feeling numb and like it wasn't really changing very fast, and also it was kind of here's that the pandemic itself was kind of here to say, and it was very weird being home after being on tour all the time, but also lovely. Got to know my neighbors and like got to work with my hands on the house, and I really liked that. Yeah, and I definitely missed that part of myself, and I think we are seeing the products of some of that, some bits of change in society, and as far as people advocating for themselves, and yeah, I don't know. It's not like a phoenix rising out of the ashes exactly, but there's something different about us after having gone through that. But yeah, I'm very excited to like have new work and to be getting ready to release a new something and to be on tour more often. But it was nice to just like claim a home and be in it all the time.
Oh yeah,
for a little while.
That's a good point. People that go out on tour and they're over and over and they do almost nothing but travel and go play and go travel and play and travel. It's like, that has to get really old too. So that 2 years, I mean, it was not good to go through for the world, but at the same time, I think a lot of people, what do I want to say? They discovered more about themselves and their friends and neighbors, and like you say, I think they're both good and bad about it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see things loosening up a little. But then you have that other variant that comes in, and it's like, Urgh.
Yeah.
But we're in a better place than we were 2 years ago.
For
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah, I think I think balance is important, and it's been. It was hard being at home, but it's also hard being on the road all the time. And I can't give up either, really. I think that's what it's. Yeah, it doesn't help to just always be on the road, but then being home, I have so many friends that I miss and places that I miss going. And,
oh yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
missing that like exchange with a live audience, because let's be honest, not the same playing to a computer.
But did you do a lot of writing or not? No.
No. Well, I finished. I finished writing about my dad, I guess, but not a lot. No, I had friends who were just extremely prolific during the pandemic, and not only just like writing, but writing and then putting out singles and like being very active online. And I just was like, I just shut everything down and like hid in my home and did normal people things like cooking and like fixing my house.
Do you like to cook?
No.
No.
No. That's
But you had to.
I like the idea of eating home cooked meals. And
yeah, I agree.
I have
with
anxiety about cooking for others, so I guess that's what I mean when I say no. But I'm not great at it, but because my own anxiety has held me back. But I do appreciate it. yeah, it's very different than being on the road, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
So I didn't do any. Do you want me to sing a pandemic song?
Sure, but
Yeah.
just initially, you missed the audience.
Yeah.
Is that what you missed more than everything else, or?
Yeah. I missed. Yeah. I think it was really important for all artists to kind of reassess why we do it and what drives you. I think
Good point.
there's some danger, like mental health danger, in being an artist and like chasing this applause, I guess, or like needing validation from an audience to feel like you're worth anything. And I think a lot of us had to like sit at home and be like, do I still matter? people are clapping at me. And remember, yeah, that's not the reason that I do it. But it is something that I had come to rely on as someone who I think struggles with self-doubt. It's a tool that I've come to rely on to remind myself that I'm worthy. Being seen by an audience in that way, and it was hard to like buoy myself up at times. Yeah, but I think an important lesson that I need to be able to do that on my own without relying.
People out there, she struggles with self-doubt too. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
I mean, I'm just a little folk singer. And I think that on any level, we look at artists who are on stages, especially as like there's just we can lean into idolatry in like an unhealthy way. I think, and I think that people who are doing that are just more spectacular humans than we are. But but in fact, we are very flawed and doubtful.
Sorry, I interrupted. Yes, let's hear a pandemic song.
Okay. Yeah, this is
Sorry
only,
about that.
No, that's okay. It's good to keep asking questions. It's an interview after all. I just thought, this isn't recorded either because again, I'm not on top of my career. I wrote it like through the pandemic very slowly, like a line would come and then I'd just leave it for a long while, and I kind of wrapped it up right when the world was starting to open again. And I thought, wow, that was bad timing. Like this could have been a nice thing for people while we were right in the depths of it, but I hope it still is. Disaster strikes, and I am nearly mortal once again. Nothing more, nothing less than a friend, than a lover, and some kind of lover. And I am not in control. I never was, but even so. Going bakes and bread, tucking children into bed. Thank the Lord for your good fortune. Get to work instead. Where every human gets to thank the good Lord too. And let it all come crashing down. It was ends working in hell. Build something new from the rubble. We're capable of more than we've been told. More than we've been told.
Yes. Good stuff. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just as relevant. I mean, we may not be going through things right now, but we still remember it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like I felt. Yeah.
It was a weird time. Still is.
I noticed you smiled at a couple lines you were singing.
A couple of points I thought, ooh, it really sounds like I woke up at 7 a.m. and started driving here. And I didn't quite hit that note. That's often what I was smiling at.
Oh, well,
But, yeah.
do you, now, what's the title of your dad album going to be, or don't you know yet?
I haven't really announced it yet. I don't.
Well, that's fine.
Let's keep it a secret. I have no idea.
Okay. I was just going to say, where can people, it's not available yet, but where can they go to find it?
Yeah, it's probably best to follow my website, so you can join the mailing list there, or there's information there. I had a Kickstarter campaign, so anyone who's on Kickstarter will hear from me there directly, but if you want to follow when the Dad album is coming out, please do go to Rachael Kilgour. That's spelled over. You have it up there somewhere. Rachael, RACHAELKILGOUR. I like to use all the vowels in my name.com, and you can sign up for my mailing list there, and I'll let you know when it's out.
Is that your own personal spelling, or is that on your baptism?
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
your,
the real one.
Okay. I was going to say you.
Oh, just for the fun of it, I decided to add vowels.
AEL, that is a little not how it's normally spelled.
And OUR is
OUR is right. Yeah.
I mean, it's less normal. There are some people that it's, yeah.
Okay, well, but it's real.
It's
it's
real.
100% real.
Yeah, I
people.
didn't even invent it, no.
Well, it's been a lot of fun having you here. It really has. I really appreciate you coming. And when you get down there, tell John I said, hey, how you doing? And let me see, what do you write with alone, or do you write with others, or
I read alone.
just alone? You've never collaborated?
No, and I don't anticipate doing it, which
Really?
makes me sound like a stick in the mud. But I just, yeah, it's such a, yeah, it feels like a really individual, like, process. I really admire people who collaborate and co-write well. I just don't really have any desire. I love it. I love it being like a protected. I think I tend to lose myself when I'm near others very easily,
Okay.
and so it feels like a really special place where I can kind of access myself when I'm all alone, and so I think I'm going to keep it that way. But
Well, that makes sense. I mean, but there are some people I think who are just the opposite.
Mm.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So I have to work with somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
It takes all kinds.
When you're in the studio and somebody else is producing you, how does that work in a similar fashion, or do you?
Yeah, I think it depends on who you work with as a producer. I think some producers are like very involved and are like sometimes even directing the songwriting or cutting things, or everyone that I've worked with, in particular, in this newest record, I think has also been protective of that. That this is this thing that I created all on my own, and it's going to be like it's going to be the thing at the center that we're going to build everything around, and so I want to protect this very intimate thing that I do by myself and like build things around it that don't take away from it. That's been my experience with the people that I've worked with, and I've been grateful.
Okay, that answers that.
Yeah. I mean, with the Dad record, I feel like specifically a lot of it was how do we record you in doing the thing that you do, and then what do we weave together in that like supports it and makes it beautiful. And we did a lot of that in the studio, but also Rose took a lot of the recordings and shared them with different musicians after the fact. So post-production added different parts that she had heard in her mind, and then came back with like, look, here's this fully produced song that you just sang solo in the studio, and now it has a big band. What do you think? And it was incredible.
Nice.
But so there's collaboration, but kind of like us doing our own things side by side, and
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, I'd like to ask you one more question, and that might seem different or odd, but tell us about one person that has really affected your life that nobody else knows who they are. I mean, not a famous person by any means or anything, or I guess it could be somebody that knows, but you know what I'm talking about, kinda.
That's very hard, I guess. Well, it's an easy one to lean on, but I guess that was kind of the whole point of me doing an entire record about my dad. He's not. He didn't live really an above average life, and not many people knew him. He was just a guy who, before his death, I wouldn't have said that he had really defined who I was as a person, and afterward, his death and me trying to make sense of like, well, was his life worth it? And like, what did he leave behind? And what am I leaving behind? And why are we all alive? I feel like at this moment in time, that's something that is very present in who I am and how I try and live my life. But yeah, he's a guy that a handful of people I know, right?
Well,
and somehow his like smallish life is deserving of an entire album of music.
Well, that's a great answer. And in my mind, I was thinking, I bet it would be her dad. And I was right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for being here. Can we get one more song from you, and then we'll go?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yep, you can. I feel like I should be playing these songs that are recorded so that you can go find them, probably.
I don't mean to bust in again, but I wish I could meet your dad, or could have met him, just because he seems so special to you, so it makes you think he had to be a special guy. So
he was a special guy. And that's kind of the point. He's just like an everyday guy, and you probably do know a lot of guys who are like him. And the point is, how do we see them when they're there, when they're like right in front of us, and not just after they're gone? I guess I will. Okay, so it's another new song. My arms are too long for my body. My hands, they're too big for my arms. But my dead part man, part insane. Hug me close and kept me from clothes tight in the heat. No, we all came from some place. You got your great grandmother's face and walk the earth with your ancestors' steady feet. And isn't it bright? Take what you given, part you kept in. Tracy tonight, to find the strength and let up like a rose. Take your old family secrets and wear them with pride.
Rachael Kilgour, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it was fun. It's always fun for me to have people come in and do this. It was special for me.
Oh, good.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I'll be back next week, people. Same time, same place. And don't forget, reuse, repurpose, recycle, reduce, and repair. And always remember, I love you. Bye.